I feel like my goal too has got to be to come from a place of understanding that they're all in a mindset from child abuse, from bad relationships, or lack of money, or too much money. I think some of these little activists are rich liberal elites.
Yeah.
I've seen their pictures, like when Robert Evans got his finger messed up. He sent this picture drinking a bourbon on the rocks from this sort of palatial house where, you know, all the furnishings are so nice. And I'm like, you rich bastard coming to my town and burning it down so my mom can't even be safe there? Enabling stalkers? And to me, they are an aristocracy at that point. If they're the rich liberal elites who are like, we got a friendly DA. Some friend of the DA was harassing on Twitter late last night, and I was starting to get an eye for the mindset. So if you call what's happening down there a civil war, he basically counter retorts, oh, you're trying to instigate violence. And so they kind of have this jump the gun false logic. You can't counter their propaganda narrative without them framing you as some kind of agitator.
Yeah.
Oh, here we are. This is where it gets fun.
What's that?
So the Camp 18 is a rest stop when I take the bus out here. But you know, I'm almost done with those buses. They are so top heavy by design. They're very big because they're such a cargo deck, and they just, I mean, you feel the entire mass of them. They're empty now because of COVID. It just bounces around, and one of the wildest guys was this Romanian guy with a cute accent, but he was just like this rowdy driver, where I'd be like, woo, like hanging on to my seatbelt. And I realized, well, I probably need to smoke ganja or something if I'm going to have that much anxiety. But then when he moved to California and I overheard the bus drivers talking about their inner office drama, because they're not getting paid much, they're screwed over by COVID too. And I realized, that is just him actually. I don't have that much driving anxiety, but the cars are more steady feeling because they're more lower on the ground. Well, I got my paperwork sorted out down there. I got everything, like, clarity of mind and organized, found what I was looking for, my lost birth certificate, and kind of like enjoyed putting my toe back in the water of Portland, but right as that happened is when the riots went up. So it was kind of like, like here I am, like, boycotting Portland, like, bye Portland, I hate you, like, for like 3 or 4 years or something, and then I'm like, okay, I'll put my toe in the water. And it's even thinking of going to court cases or like checking out the council maybe.
Yeah.
And then no, all this stuff happens and no, like no way, man.
Yeah, City Hall's closed.
And it's like smashed up multiple times, like graffiti.
So there's no city council meetings. Everything is done on the internet.
I hate it.
And I went down there and filmed, and they actually had one Antifa dude that was sitting out there at the city hall. And he goes, well, city hall's closed. I go, alright. So I checked, and then I came back later and talked to some workers, and they're like, yeah, it's closed. I'm like, man.
Yeah, and then it really reduces our sense of democracy. Not that they could handle democracy. They could not handle criticisms or complaints.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it'll ever go back to normal.
Well, I know the mayor's talking about moving.
Yeah, out of his apartment.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And I feel like, hey dude, you just realize, in a way, he has blood on his hands if any of his tenants got touched. And the sheer psychological terror, I'd expect a settlement right now. Get the settlement out, you let the city burn to the ground, and you terrorize them. And he's got to start.